In this video, I want to talk to you about how quickly you can become a caregiver before you even know it. It happens in just a moment. It could be a stroke. It could be a wandering incident where your loved one has left the house and you can't find them and you realize they can't be left alone. It could be a fall that lands them in the emergency room, and then you're told that they can't go back to their house, that they need more care. It could be a cooking incident where there's a fire and you realize they need more attention and somebody needs to be there to watch them. Becoming a caregiver can just happen in an instant. One day you're going about your own business, you check in on them every once in a while, and the next you find yourself making decisions that you never thought about making, and you certainly aren't even sure that you're qualified to make them. My name is Amy, and I'm a coach for caregivers. I was a caregiver for my father with cancer and my mother with Alzheimer's. And I'm here to tell you, you can get into the trenches of caregiving before you even realize it. When you find yourself in whatever crisis situation that has brought you to your loved one and you realize that more help is needed, and you become the person who starts to make the decisions for that help that's needed, your mind is in crisis mode. Whether you're standing in the hallway with the doctor and he's saying to you, she can't go back home. You need to look at rehab. What facility do you want to put her in? I've been there. It's like, what? I don't even know what facilities there are, right? Or maybe they're even in a senior living, independent senior living place, and maybe there's a fire and the director comes to you and says, I'm sorry, your loved one can't live here anymore. They need more care than we can offer. And your mind immediately in crisis mode goes, great, we've just been kicked out. Now what am I supposed to do? And then suddenly we realize that we're in the caregiving mode, maybe long term, or whatever we choose to keep in, or however long we choose to keep in the caregiving mode. When you're in that crisis situation, you're being asked what to do next. What do you want done? You might not even be able to consult your loved one. They might not be in the proper mental state, or maybe just not even conscious to help make a decision. And there you are, feeling really unqualified at the decisions that you're making. You might be up-leveling care, changing their living environment. They're no longer going to be at their own place. Now you're moving them to a facility. All of this it's almost mind-numbing as you go through it, because you're just like checking the boxes of the things that have to be done, because the healthcare workers are pressuring you to get that bed. And that's a really terrible way to put it, but gosh, it feels like that when it is actually happening. And then you might be having siblings or other family members calling you or texting you and wanting the information. I remember being in the emergency room with my father, one of the first visits for him. So everything was new. I was definitely in the crisis mode. There was definitely a heart issue. There he is. They're taking care of him. They're putting all of the heart things on. He's on oxygen the whole bit. And I heard the nurse say, oh, great, he's in AFib. And at the time, I'm texting my brothers and I'm updating them. And I typed in, she just said he's in VFib. I didn't know the difference between AFib and VFib. Evidently, VFib basically means you're dying. AFib means your heart is irregular. Only I don't know this. And so I'm there trying to gather as much information as I can, but I'm also shooting off these texts. Well, one of my brothers is like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean he's in VFib? What do you mean? What's going on? What's going?" And like I could feel my phone vibrating so quickly because he essentially was like yelling through the text, but I could only process what they were saying and no time to ask them questions because they were like, bam, 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 getting at it and determining what was going on with him, coming and going and coming and going. And my mother was standing there and I'm trying to take care of her as well. Wow. I mean, it just hits. And you don't have time to ask the questions. You don't have time to think it through. Suddenly, you're just in this role, essentially like treading water just to keep up with it. Once the decision is made and you share it with your loved one, whether you share it before a move is made or whether you share it after the move has made, let's say, they might not have been mentally coherent at the time if it was a hospital visit, or if it's like the idea where the care facility or the independent living facility says you can't stay here anymore and you make the arrangements to up level their care and you tell them ahead of time. Either way, your loved one might feel confused. They might feel angry. They might feel betrayed by you for having made that decision and not understanding that you didn't have a choice, that a decision had to be made then. And you might not have been able to consult them, or you might have consulted them with very limited information that they could understand at the time. You compound all of that as it happens in that crisis situation, and it is no wonder your head is spinning and you are feeling totally overwhelmed, drained, completely anxious, and really doubting whether you're doing the right thing or not. Right? Our brains like freeze at that time. And suddenly we make very quick decisions to take care of the crisis in that instant. But our hearts don't really catch up with what's actually happening to our loved one and to us until quite a while later. I mean, basically, you're managing their emotions as well as your own emotions as you're going through this. Hey, I'm really sorry to interrupt, but I want to make sure you hang on until the end because I want to tell you about my ER confidence bag. I think you're going to want to hear about it. So keep listening, but hold on till the end. And then when you finally have some time alone, you might find yourself feeling regret. You might find yourself being as confused as what you left your loved one. You might find yourself losing sleep, feeling really anxious about the next time you visit them, what you're going to say to them, how they're going to react. You might have this desire to always be there with them, right? Trying to avoid the next trauma that is going to happen. And this is constantly running through your brain, running through your brain, running through your brain. All of the what ifs and should I have and did I? Should I have done something differently? All of those things are going to weigh on you. Basically, what that is that delayed processing of all of those emotions that you felt you should have been feeling at the beginning of the crisis. And not until things kind of calm down do you suddenly feel all of them and they wash over you. And all of that anxiety and that stress and that doubt just sits really, really heavy with you. And if this is what it is feeling like to you, I want you to recognize a few things. First, you're not weak and you didn't make the wrong decisions. You stood up when you needed to, and things were coming at you so fast that you made the best choices you could make at the time. You might feel that routines are completely changed. Maybe you made the decision to bring your loved one to your home, and now you're feeling like you're not prepared to handle it. There's a complete change in routine, right? Now it's another whole new learning experience. You're not behind. It's not like you should have been born with this knowledge. This isn't your career. It all came at you so fast, and you're working through it. And it's natural that it is going to take time. It's natural that you are going to doubt yourself. And it's especially natural that you'll doubt yourself if you hear other people in your ear questioning you. First off, your loved one. Why am I here? Should we do this? I shouldn't have to do this. I should be back in my own place. And then siblings, other relatives, friends, they all weigh in too. And it's all swirling up here. And you're questioning yourself. Not because you failed, but because it came at you so fast that you couldn't process it all. So I want you to understand that you didn't miss a step along the way of caregiving. You haven't failed in any way. Even if others are unhappy with the decision, even if you're questioning the decision, you did the right thing at the time. And that is key in all of caregiving. Learn that from the start. And then you can come back and you can talk to me if you choose to sign up for a free support session right under this video. You can come back and talk to me, and we can really decide together if this particular type of caregiving that you just engaged in is something that you want to do. Or can you care for your loved one in a different way? And neither of those are right or wrong. Everybody has the option. You have the option, and you get to decide. So there's a further thought here that is needed. But I just want to assure you, caregiving starts like this more often suddenly than a slow roll up to it. So you haven't done anything wrong. You haven't overlooked anything. It is the way it is, and it's how it happened. If you need more support because you're questioning yourself, have a look at my video about the 3 guiding questions for self-doubt. And if you want some one-on-one support, sign up for a free support session below. I would love to talk with you, hear your story, and help you through this. Hey, before you leave, I want to make sure that you are prepared in any type of crisis or an emergency. Too often we find ourselves being called, being summoned, or ending up transporting our loved one to the emergency room for various reasons. And sometimes it's as simple as hydration or dehydration, really. But when you know you're headed to the emergency room, that stress starts to creep in, right? You start to get very nervous. You don't know what's going to happen. Always best to be proactive. So I have created something called an ER confidence bag. So think of the soon-to-be mother, right? The pregnant woman who is about to have her child, but she doesn't know when she is going to go into labor and need to go to the hospital. So she packs her bag, right? And puts it near the door so she's ready to go. She puts everything in there that she's going to need. Well, apply that same thing to prepare for an emergency room visit for your loved one. So if you click on the link below that says ER Confidence Bag, I will happily send you the things that you need to put in your emergency room confidence bag, right? So that you can go, you're proactive, and you're going to have the things that you need when you are there. And I can't tell you the number of my clients who thank me later, right? Because they didn't have to think about it. It was right there in their bag when the doctors or the nurses asked for it. If you found today's video helpful, be sure to subscribe because I will come to you with more tips and tricks to help you in your caregiver journey. And also check out my website at www.caregivers-thriving.com to learn more about me and my membership for caregivers, where I partner with them as they go through the caregiver journey. We work one-on-one together, get you the whole way through the journey. I shorten that learning curve for you, and I'm here to support you.